Krista Perry with Theatre Kent, and I am the Education and Training Director. And part of the thing that we want to do with Theatre Kent during COVID, because it's really hard to have live theater when you can't get together, is try to educate people about what Theatre Kent is, their history, the people involved, and hopefully gain some interest and how you can be a part of Theatre Kent. And joining me right now is Eric Bristow. How you doing?
Good, good. How are you?
Excellent. So what is your job right now on the board of Theatre Kent?
Right now, I'm serving as past president. So I was president for 2 years before that. So basically, what I do now is I just support the new president and support those who are kind of new to the theater and just kind of help them answer questions, keep things rolling the way they're supposed to.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Let's go right back. So where are you from?
I'm from, well, I live in Tilbury,
Okay.
but I lived in Leamington for a while. I lived in Bell River. I was born in London,
Okay.
but I grew up in Merlin, which
Oh,
is just, yeah, it's just outside of Tilbury.
yeah. So
So,
basically a Southern Ontario boy born and bred.
yep.
Now, so let's talk about your family a little bit. Do you have any brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I have a sister. I have two sisters. I keep
Mhm.
forgetting about that one. She lives up in Vancouver.
We will let her know that.
Yeah, so I have two younger sisters. Um, my middle sister Jamie lives in Wheatley,
Mhm.
and my youngest sister, she lives in Salt Springs, which is a little tiny town on an island uh, off the coast of Vancouver. And her fiance, they run a bakery.
You're
So,
kidding.
yeah, yeah,
Off the island?
yeah.
Isn't that a cool story? Wow. Very nice. And your parents, are they still with us?
I have many parents.
You have many parents. That's a good thing, isn't it?
Yes. Um, Father lives in Leamington. Stepfather lives in Stony Point. Um, my mom passed away a couple years ago, so she's not with us anymore. That's that's pretty much the bulk of them.
Well, let's talk about the family growing up. Now, were you a part of theater very young?
High school.
High school. So you didn't do any theater in grade school at all?
Mm, I don't think so. I don't remember. It was a long time ago.
It's a long time ago. All right, well, let's talk about high school then. Your theater experience, how did that start?
That started. I joined the. I think I was in the music class,
Okay.
and our music teacher, Terry McConnell, was doing the music for, and I do believe the very first show I did was The Mikado of Japan, which is, of course, Gilbert and Sullivan.
Right.
And I played the Mikado because I
Okay.
was 4 foot nothing back in high school. So
Wow.
I had a nice big goatee and had a song, and it was fun.
Wow. A big part for just jumping in
It
for not having any
was.
theater experience.
Was, yeah. And then every year I did the musical almost every year after that. And Sharon Jumonville was the librarian, and she and her husband Leonard
Mhm.
got involved with Sears Drama Festival, and she pretty much took Blenheim to Sears every year. So that's where I met a lot of my theater friends.
Right.
Yeah,
Through high school
through high
and
school. Yeah,
excellent. Well, that's
yeah.
great. I think a lot of us have the same experience that we were very lucky in high school that we got the chance to be a part of Sears Drama Festival or any of the drama festivals because you got to travel, you got to see what other communities were doing and other high schools were doing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's where you made your friends.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's where you found girlfriends, boyfriend. You were away from home. You were with people that you loved, and it's an experience for sure. I was very sad when Sears decided to stop,
Mm,
and then when it got picked up again, I think it's called the National, so I don't some national something or other,
right.
that they picked it up and ran with it, up until this year, of course.
Yeah,
So I was happy with
exactly.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, challenges all the way around for sure. Well, let's talk about after high school then. What was your experience with theater?
none,
None.
none. I moved in with my father, um, when I was 18,
Mhm.
and theater just pretty much stopped. Um, Went to college, didn't do theater there. Um,
Well, how many years then between the time you finished high school to the time that you got back involved in any kind of theater? Or had you been going to see theater throughout that time or
no, it wasn't. It just wasn't a part of my life at all. During my 20s, and it wasn't until Facebook became a thing
right,
that I started seeing old friends. Um, and it wasn't until Tracy Shilmore Morton, or Tracy Morton, posted an audition notice on Facebook
right.
back, and that would have been 2012. So
Okay.
from 96, 97 until 2012,
No theater.
I was doing other stuff. I mean, I was learning how to be an auto mechanic. I was uh, I was a boxing photographer for a while. I worked for a couple of magazines doing photography and writing for a while.
Oh, how interesting. Wow.
Yeah,
So you
so
saw the notice. What then what made you answer? What made you do the audition?
I was bored. I
Okay,
was
fair
living alone in Tilbury, and all I had was my cat,
enough.
and didn't have a whole lot of friends because I had
Okay.
moved away from Leamington, and I just thought, you know what, I got to do something with my life. I got to find some friends again,
Yeah.
and I ended up going out for the audition. Didn't get the part, but Tracy said, "Hey, you know what? We need help backstage. Would you be interested in that?"
Mhm.
And I said, "Absolutely. I mean, I just want to be involved. I just want to
Excellent.
be part of it." So I was backstage for a good 2 years before I even hit the stage.
Right.
So I got to know the ins and outs of of the actual of the what happens, what makes the magic happen
Yes.
backstage before I even set foot on stage. And to even now, I mean, love being on stage, but I feel most comfortable behind the scenes.
Really.
Yeah,
Really.
yeah,
I think a lot of people have the perception that um, all the magic happens on stage, like you said, and it does. But if it weren't for the people behind the set, behind the scenes, uh, they are indispensable. And you learn so much from doing different aspects of backstage work. I mean, you could do directing, you can do producing, you can do costumes, makeup, set design, set building. I mean, the list goes on and on.
yeah. Without, I look at it this way: the people that work behind the scenes, they're like the foundation of the house.
Yeah.
If you don't have a good foundation, the house, it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be sturdy. It's going to fall apart.
Yeah.
You know, so you need to have those people, and it's those people And I'm not trying to discount the one. I'm not trying to discount the actors and stuff
No, no,
because
please.
that's a lot of work too.
It
Was
is. It is.
memorizing lines is something I'm terrible at.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
it
Well,
has to be done. It has to be done, or else you look like an idiot on stage. But like the set builders and the painters and the costume people, they spend hours and hours and hours, and they don't spend hours just at rehearsal. They spend hours at home,
mhm,
and they take time away from their families and they take time away from their jobs
mhm.
to do this stuff, and that's what I love
and
seeing that.
and why do we do it?
Why
Because
do we do it?
we love
I
it.
love it.
Yeah.
Yes.
We love the people backstage. We love the time that it takes to put a production together. We love the fact that we can all come together, even during COVID right now and the challenges that we're facing, and at least we can speak face to face over Zoom and be able to offer content.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure. So, okay, so that first production, what was it?
The importance of being earnest.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what were you doing backstage at that time?
Oh, everything.
Everything is a little bit here, a little bit there.
Yeah, doing set changes, making sure the actors, knew when they're supposed to go on. Um, just yeah, I was learning a
Right,
lot because
right,
I had no idea how any of it worked.
right.
So I just kind
So,
of
who would have been your influences back then, that first show?
probably Tracy for sure, Tracy Shomon Morton for sure. Her husband Stu was the stage manager,
Mhm.
so I definitely listened to him a lot. Bill Puzant really kind of took me under his wing during that show and kind of helped me out because it was him and another fellow by the name of Robin Holt that put the set together, and that the set that Leonard Jubenville actually designed.
Mhm.
Um, it was quite the undertaking, this building the set and then doing the blackouts, changing these giant panels. Like they were took two people to lift, and
Wow.
so
So, first show, you caught the bug, obviously.
yeah, I
Yeah,
did.
and you
Oh
spent
yeah,
2 years backstage. So, how many shows did you do? Were you consistently a part of Theater Kent during that time?
I've been a part of every show except for I think three from 2012 until now.
That is some kind of commitment.
I think yeah, there was the musicals, a couple of Christmas musicals I didn't get involved with um, because Christmas is crazy.
Yeah,
It was just
exactly. Yeah,
wasn't
sometimes you got to put up those boundaries, even though you love theater so much.
still went and bought a ticket and sat in the audience, but
Perfect. Yeah, because that's one thing that people can do. Maybe they don't want to be backstage. Maybe they don't want to be front stage. Buy a ticket. Support local theater, especially during COVID, because of course, the board is working very hard at projects for the new year. And we're not going to say anything yet, but projects are coming, right?
yeah,
And we are going to work within the confines of COVID, but we will be offering content, and I'm very excited about what we're going to be offering, and hopefully, not hopefully, but yes, the community will support because they always have in the past.
yes.
Even during the tough times, the community really has supported Theater Kent.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they haven't they don't really haven't had a choice.
Well, that's okay. A captive audience, we don't mind that. We'll strap them down in those seats.
We haven't gone anywhere, so don't stop loving us.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll be
And
back.
it just goes to show, Eric, and speaking with Sharon Jubinville and members of the board, um, Theatre Kent really does hold a special place in people's hearts. And it's been around for 40 years. Theater Kent continues because of the great people that are involved. Yes, there are conflicts. It always happens in any community group. But for this group to last that long with a bunch of theater divas, because we all are, just goes to show how great the people here.
I've never been a diva in my life.
Never. Just a little bit. It's okay. It's okay. We all admit it, and it's all right. But like I said, the great bunch of people, and that's just one of the reasons why people should join Theater Kent, right?
It is. It is. I barely missed by not saying that theater has meant a lot to me. I met my wife doing theater. Um, Theater Ken has done a lot for um, the community and for people because there are countless marriages and relationships that have grown due to, just he showed up, she showed up, they had to spend time together and close proximity to each other, and things got a little romantic in the end. And then, I mean, I can think of probably 4 marriages off the top of my head since I've been a part of it.
Somebody has to write a script about this. Wouldn't this be a great play?
Yeah, I think so.
Talking about the marriages that have happened
Yeah,
or the relationships that have happened because of Theater Kent.
yeah, yeah. I
Somebody
mean,
get on that right now. There's nothing else to do. It's COVID. Write a script.
that's right. That's right.
I'm a terrible writer. I wouldn't even know where to start. But anyway, so tell me, during your years in Theater Kent, not only have you been on stage and backstage, you've been a part of the board as well. What are some of the roles that you've held on the board?
I started as publicity director. I took over for Ange Poissant
Mhm.
when she had a fall and subsequently broke her hip, so
Ooh.
couldn't be involved anymore, and I stepped in. So I did that for I think 2 or 3 years, and then became president. Yeah,
And okay, and then this was your past presidency, this past 2 years.
yeah.
Well, that's great. And I thank you for your service and keeping Theater Kent going, especially during COVID and trying to work all this out. And you sticking around to help out is very admirable of you. But again, it just goes to show the incredible people with Theater Kent.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy at all. During the time I was president, um, like I said, my mother passed away very suddenly, and then so while just after that happened, um, then the COVID happened.
Right.
So it was kind of one major hit and then another one, and
Yeah.
I was I was glad when Tony took over. Um, I'd probably do it again if I had to. But I'm not gonna put my hand up.
Right, right. Yeah. Well, you know what? It is a commitment. It's a 2 year commitment. Um, but why did you make that commitment? Why? Like I want people to get involved. I want them to know the reasons why they should get involved in the board.
I I became president. I got voted in as president, nominated and voted in. Elaine, I don't know. That's a really good question. I don't think I've thought about that for quite some time now. Um,
Sorry to put you in a corner.
okay, no, no. I think I was ready to take on that role. I had ideas
Mhm,
and I had a vision
mhm,
of what I wanted to see theater can become,
mhm.
and I wanted to support others who shared my vision, and doing that in a place of somewhat power, I guess. It gave me the ability to move forward with those ideas.
Excellent. That is
Yeah.
an excellent answer. It really is. And you know what? I think a lot of people like to complain and moan about things, but unless you're willing to step up, and voice your opinions and have them heard and follow through on them, you
Yeah.
know, maybe you shouldn't complain. If you want change, change from within. Come on in, come join us. If you have ideas, we would love to hear them. We're not a closed book.
Yeah, there's a saying that it's a chef. I think there's a chef that said it. He says, if you want something done, then do it. Don't wait for somebody else to do it.
Exactly.
You know, if you want this change to happen, or you want this project to happen, don't sit and wait for somebody else to do it, because it may never happen.
Exactly.
Do it yourself, because then you're gonna get it done and you're gonna be happy about it.
Exactly. And Theater Kent is such a great well of resources. You know, if you have a project that you're thinking about, especially, you know, during COVID, or any other project, you want to do a workshop, you maybe don't know where to turn. Theater Kent is a, like I said, a well of resources, not only with, you know, costumes and that kind of thing, but just the people, the knowledge that these people have is incredible, and they love to share.
Yes, we do. Yes, we love new blood. Love new blood.
New
Because
blood.
it's exciting. It's exciting to get to teach what you've learned to other people and see them get excited about it at the same time. Um, I know when we posted auditions for Calendar Girls a couple, well, it's been almost a year now.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, the new faces that came out to to audition was it was wonderful. We had never seen these women before, and even some of the men we'd never seen before, and they were so passionate and so just excited, and then being cast in the show. I was doing phone calls offering parts, and I remember having to hold the phone away from my ear because of the screaming. I was like,
oh.
"Will you take this part?" And there's like, "Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's a yes."
Oh, that's awesome.
So, and
Oh,
it's that's been tough. That's been tough on them. It's been very tough on my wife, who's the director,
yeah.
because she put her heart and soul into the show, and it things happened the way they happened, and
This is
it's
heartbreaking.
it's been tough. It's
Yeah.
been really tough. So
And how's she handling it? She's,
better now.
yeah.
Better now. Yeah, it's hard when you get a dream kind of ripped out of your hands, and
Yeah, exactly. It's
you
like,
have no control over it.
exactly. And you feel helpless, especially when you put your heart and soul into it. Yeah.
Yeah, and with how COVID just evolved quickly, you know, things were said and promises were made, and then the promises had to be broken,
Yeah.
and decisions were made, and then they had to be rescinded, and it was hard. It was really hard. It was a tough decision for the board. We waited, I think, as long as we could,
Yeah.
but it was going to be inevitable.
Yeah.
Um, hopefully,
Yeah,
we
uh,
yeah, we've
it's out
talked
of
about
our hands.
that.
It's out of our hands.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But excuse me. So hopefully, with this vaccine, if it starts to get some people inoculated, and we can start to calm this thing down. I'm
Exactly.
hoping by oh, I'm hoping by summertime we can get back to it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'll be first in line because I'd really like to start my life again for
uh,
sure. Well, Eric, it's been an absolute delight to talk to you today. I wanted to give you the opportunity, sort of this last part, to, I guess, maybe share your thoughts on Theater Kent. Why, I guess, a wrap up of why people should get involved, and just basically say whatever you'd like to say.
well, yeah. I mean, why not? Why not get involved? Like you'll meet the greatest people. You'll have the most fun. It's it's hard work, but it's fun. Um, you might meet somebody new. You might hook up with old friends that you forgot about, and you'll be doing yourself um, a service. You'll be getting yourself out, and you'll feel good about yourself, and people will look at you differently. I guarantee it.
Absolutely. Eric, thank you so much for your time. We really
Thank you.
appreciate it. And for all you Theater Kent fans or new to Theater Kent, we will have more interviews coming up throughout the year, and we'll have maybe some special projects that'll coming out as well. But we will get to that as the year progresses. And again, a big thank you to Eric Bristow, past president of Theater Kent. Thank you so much.
Thank you.